Hi girls! Do you know that Mother's Day is approaching? Today I'm gonna teach you to make a chocolate cake for your mother. Of course you can have this cake at any time you like. So let's have a look at the ingredients. First of all, unsalted butter, 150 grams. Dark chocolate, 400 grams. Sugar, 100 grams. Egg, 5. Flour, 45 grams. So it's just a small amount. That's why the cake will be so delicate and soft. A pinch of salt. And this is dark rum, 2 tablespoons. Well, we have the ingredients for the ganache. A ganache is a mixture of chocolate and cream. So you should use 100 grams of whipping cream and 100 grams of dark chocolate. And also some raspberries for the garnish. And you have to preheat the oven at 180 degrees Celsius. And also you need a cake tin. And this is a greased and lined cake tin. So never throw away the wrapping of the butter immediately because it's very useful. You can see that on the paper there is still some butter, right? We use this wrapper to grease the inside of the cake tin, including the bottom and the sides of it. And then we cut the paper that fits the bottom and the sides, the inside of the cake tin. And then because the cake tin is already greased, then you can stick the paper onto it easily. And after lining the cake tin, you may brush some melted butter, or you just need to use this paper to grease the surface of the paper again, and then you can use it. So lining a cake tin is very important, because if you don't do it, the batter may stick onto the cake tin, and then you may find it very difficult to unmold the cake. Okay, so let's start baking. Okay, now the first step is to melt the butter and the chocolate. So get a saucepan, boil some water. It's boiling, right? Turn the heat off. Put the mixing bowl onto the saucepan. Remember, at this moment you should have turned off the heat already, because we don't want to overheat the chocolate. Otherwise the chocolate will seize. We call it the term seize. That means you will get burnt, and then it can't go back. So add in the butter, get a scraper, and we use the heat of the hot water inside the saucepan to melt the chocolate and the butter. So we will come back later. Okay, now you can see that the butter and the chocolate have melted beautifully. You can see the mixture is so smooth and shiny. That means I've done it right. If you overheat the chocolate, it will be so coarse and grainy. So it's so important to control the heat. Okay, now let's go to the next step. First, you have to separate the egg yolks and egg whites carefully, because you can't drop any egg yolk into the egg whites. Otherwise, you can't beat it. You can't make the meringue successfully. And then for the sugar, you have to separate it into 2 portions. This dish is with 70 grams of sugar, and for this there are 30 grams of sugar. So when you read the recipe, it tells you to beat the egg yolks with the sugar first, right? But now I would like to teach you to do the other part first. That is to beat up the meringue. And then and then we will use another container to dish up the meringue, and then we use the same mixing bowl to beat the egg yolks, because there's no problem for you to beat the egg yolks if there is egg white in the bowl. Got it? But if there is a trace of egg yolk in the mixing bowl, then you will fail to beat up the meringue. So let's beat up the meringue before beat up the egg yolks. Okay? So let's start. Got a stand mixer. Inside the bowl we've got 5 egg whites with a pinch of salt. The salt is for loosening up the egg white so that it can be beaten up more easily. So start beating the egg white. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can use a hand electric mixer. Okay, speed up. Don't add in the sugar so soon. Do it later. Okay, do it when the egg whites are beaten up. Okay, now you can see some bubbles, some foam. Speed up. Now it's time for you to add in the sugar to barley too. Do it slowly, gradually. Otherwise, if there is too much sugar at one time, then the egg white will be too heavy to beaten up. So you have to do it gradually. Add 2 tablespoons of rum, dark rum, into the chocolate and butter mixture and mix well. I didn't add in the rum at the beginning because I didn't want to lose the flavor, the aroma of the rum. So I would add in the rum just right before mixing all the things together. I mean mixing the butter chocolate mixture with the egg yolks, egg whites together. Okay, now it's time to mix all these 3 types of mixtures together. First, I would mix the egg yolks and sugar and flour with the chocolate and butter mixture together. And then I will add in the meringue in several times, and in order to try my best to keep the bubbles so that the bubbles of the meringue can help to rise up the chocolate cake in the hot oven. Mix the egg yolks, sugar, flour, and the chocolate and butter mixture together. Use a scraper to fold in, and also in order to stop the bowl from moving all along, place a damp cloth beneath so that the mixing bowl won't move. Okay, the damp cloth or the wet cloth can help to stabilize the mixing bowl. And then add in the egg whites. Fold in the meringue. Now all the things are well mixed together, so we need to put it into the lined and greased cake tin immediately and put it into a hot oven at 180 degrees Celsius. Okay, now the batter is inside the cake tin. Remember to smooth up the surface a bit before putting it into the oven. See you soon! During baking, you should make the ganache. What is a ganache? A ganache is a mixture of equal parts of chocolate and whipping cream. You can boil up the whipping cream in a saucepan and then pour it onto the chocolate and mix well until it's well mixed and smooth and shiny, glossy. Then you cool them down together. And or you can use the microwave oven to help. So now I'm going to use the microwave. I'll pour the cream onto the chocolate and put it into the microwave and heat it up for like 30 seconds to 1 minute. So let's see. Let the chocolate cake cool down on a cooling rack. You can see that it's so delicate. Can you see that? Inside the crack, can you see? It's still so moist. It's very soft now, but after chilling, it will be harder. And later I will add some chocolate ganache on top, and then raspberries, and then icing sugar. Now I'm going to garnish the chocolate cake with some ganache. Don't worry if there are cracks on the cake. It's normal. It's normal because the cake is so delicate. If you like, you can cool down the cake completely. Put it into the fridge to chill it up, and then put the ganache into a piping bag and to pipe out some garnishes. But if you do so, you must have cold ganache. But now I'm going to do it simply using a spoon. Spread it on the cake. comes the chocolate ganache cake today. It can be served as a hot pudding, or you can chill it and serve it as a chocolate cake. It's even more yummy if you serve it with ice cream or some extra whipped cream. You can see that on top there is the chocolate ganache with the raspberries and icing sugar. Isn't it pretty? It's not difficult to do so. It's easy to make, and the outcome is so beautiful. Share it with your family, especially with your mother, because the Mother's Day is approaching. Happy Mother's Day. See you soon. Bye bye.